And welcome back. In this session, we're going to be creating a storyline of what to let go of, as well as what to bring into our creative space at this time for the collective. And the reason for that decision is because as I was putting my cards away yesterday, this one fell away from the deck. And this is the lizard animal spirit, which represents the artist. And I just find it so beautiful of a synchronicity for that to come out after all the talk that we had yesterday about tapping into that creative, and yet another synchronicity is coming into alignment with that. With the lizard as the primary energy for today, this is all about being instinctual, sensitive to the subtle, and a dreamer. So really embodying that dream at this time. It's also about being more artistic, telepathic, and spiritual. Returning to the inner artist who's been whispering your name. So, because we have the lizard on the board, first we're going to go into the seed and sickle to determine in terms of energy what the collective is being called to let go of. And then we will also determine what to invite into our creative space, as the theme is all about returning to the artist with that lizard ally showing up for us. So we're going to go into the seed and sickle now. Source, Holy Spirit, what is it in our creative environment that the collective is being called to let go of at this time? Here we go. Hold on. All right. Whoa, these cards are slippery. That's good. We're not even going to make a full pass. That should be plenty. In terms of what we're being called to let go of in our environment. May you be well. Bars. Have a good one. All right. In terms of what to let go of, we have the birch coming out first. Apparently, there are some opportunities for collaboration that you may have been considering at some point in time that is in alignment with yesterday's message about ideas or projects involving a collaboration that you put on a shelf and you lost interest. So therefore, there isn't any motivation. So whatever projects, so on and so forth, that you've already been putting off due to lack of interest, it's like Source and Holy Spirit is saying, just let it go altogether. Because there isn't much of a chance that you're going to regain interest. All right, we also have mustard, number 29, in terms of what to let go of. Overanalysis, overanalyzing. It's like everything that you've been more disinterested in is like stacking up. And this is something that should be practiced on a regular basis. Like, we don't want anything like sitting around for too long and becoming stagnant or otherwise just wasting space. Like, get rid of it, let it go. Think of it as like if you're in the southern hemisphere, a spring cleaning. If you're in the northern hemisphere, giving it a second go, like autumn cleaning, similar to spring cleaning, but like before you settle in for the winter. And it's like only holding on to basically the necessities that are most useful for the season that you are in, regardless of the season that you are in. All right. I'm going to give them one more chance to come correct or they'll get blocked. We also have the strawberry, number 39, in terms of what to let go. A change of tact. But also letting go of old angles, like old ways of doing things. Choosing a new angle instead. It's also time to let go of an old situation that you've been chipping away at forever. And no matter what you do, you just can't seem to make headway. Good afternoon to you as well, Diesel. Thank you so much for being here, Brostar. Thank you. Happy Tuesday. Yes. So, whatever it is that you've been chipping away at and you can't seem to be making headway, the collective is being guided to just let it go, release it. We also have the poppy that came out in terms of what to let go of. Letting go of that resistance to move forward. Like there's forward movement that is meant to be occurring at this time to some degree for the collective. And there is some resistance involved at this time. Letting go of the details as well. We have wisteria. What else in terms of letting go for the collective? It's time to overcome differences that you may have been experiencing. And we also have Bracken, number 3. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and make another pass in that deck. This is all about letting go of any impulse that you may be experiencing at this time in terms of feeling pressure to show up for everyone at your best all the time. Like, it's okay to slip away from the public eye every once in a while without feeling called to validate or explain yourself. It's like Bracken is giving the public the hand, like, talk to the hand. Don't concern yourself with what I've been doing. Just talk to the hand. My formal name and address and family business is none of yours kind of vibe as well. All right, let's go back into the seed and sickle for just a bit more of what the collective is being called to let go of at this time. Hello, Tammy. Happy Tuesday. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for popping in. Right now we're telling a little story of what to let go of at this time. Here we go. Source, Holy Spirit, what more is the collective being called to let go to make space in our creative space? All right, we have the Elder coming out next, number 43. Woo. Cards are getting heavy. There. So what to let go of with Elder? Letting go of any urge or impulse to respond. So I see where this test that was coming out in yesterday's message is coming in again. Possibly. But what this is involving here, it could very well be a past argument that hasn't been resolved. Some kind of conflict that occurred that is getting in the way of the collective creativity. And that there was yesterday in the 7-day outlook, there was a message of some kind of test coming in for the collective in the next 7 days, which would now be 6 days. Yes, yes, very much so. It could just be an energy like that and not like an actual person or a location or a particular tangible thing, like an inanimate object or something like literally getting in the way. Absolutely, it could be a creative block. But it's tied to some kind of conflict. And this is where the collective is being guided to, no matter how long it's been stewing, to not retaliate. Because first, being caught up in the energy is blocking, forward movement. But also any opportunity to react, and the collective does react, will also in turn get in the way of that creative flow. So whether this conflict already occurred, is occurring now, or is about to this week, we're being guided to not engage with it at all, no matter what. Because the consequence, the result of it, will be some kind of block in creativity and forward movement. Exactly. Exactly. And by letting it go, that's what this entire session is about today. Is first we're doing a lineup of what to let go of that could be getting in the way of our artistic energy, because this card came out in terms of representing the collective energy. And this is the artist that we're being called to return home to, so to speak, so that the artist can awaken to a degree, but in a more like behind the scenes private setting as well. Like, because for some reason the collective, specifically for today, is being called to step away from the public eye for a significant amount of time with this card that came out beforehand. All right, now let's see what else we have here. We have Feverfew. And what I see here is helping hands reaching in. The message that I'm getting with Feverfew is letting go of there may be a person, place, thing, or situation in your current environment that is like posing as a helping hand, but they have an ulterior motive. Like what they can get out of it more than what you could get out of it. It's not like equal reciprocity type energy. If it's something that we're letting go of, it's not going to be reciprocal. Something unwanted coming the collective's way, and it would be best advised to avoid it. The bitterness of Feverfew is enough to keep rats and other pests from the door. So learn from its defenses. Don't surrender your progress for the sake of being nice. Be ready to protect yourself and everything that you've worked for. Some things are worth the fight. But this is also why we're being called to step out of the public eye to some degree for the majority of the day. because now I'm hearing success will be our biggest victory. Like, defying all the odds of this energy coming in, posing as a helping hand, but it's really a hindrance. Like, success is the best revenge type of energy here. Yes. Yes. We also have Verbena, number 42. In terms of what to let go of. This has to do with sincerity. So, although there is some concern of things not appearing as they seem with this card, we're still being encouraged to let go of that fear of forming new relationships at the same time. We're actually in a perfect position to build something new. But now I'm getting that part of the reason why we're being called to step away from the public eye for the majority of today is because this new connection is meant to be kept a bit more private and exclusive at this time. It's like widening your network, but privately. This is a situation where the collective can actually just be themselves, and that determination and passion will shine through. So, like, letting go of any concern or mistrust or fear of mistrust in terms of new connections and new relationships and friendships. We also have mushroom, number 31. There are going to be situations or a situation that springs up today that the collective is being guided to not compromise on, to not budge at all whatsoever. And now I'm hearing, do not give away all your spoons. If you are a spoonie, you will know what that means. A spoonie knows to not ever give away all of their spoons. Don't give away all of your energy, but also don't put all of your eggs in one basket, I just heard. Yes, taking on too much. It's only Tuesday, and we're already getting this air of caution like the collective has been taking on too much. Wearing yourself thin for the sake of those who don't even realize that you've been burning the candle at both ends. We're being guided to catch this behavior before it gets out of control. Be our own helping hand. Typically, this is the helping hands card in this deck. But for today, we're being guided to draw back from the public eye for the majority of the day and just be our own helping hand. But also, again, there's still like a connection, maybe two, that are going to like still be legit, that you can still engage in. I'm hearing less is more today. It's like the less that you put out energetically, specifically for today, the more you will actually gain from your experiences today. We also have cornflower, and our first master number to come out in today's session, number 11. This master number is caused to ring the bell. Before doing so, we're just going to put these down here actually, and there we go. Prop that one up. Master number, a path to intuition and higher consciousness with this number. So the majority of this has to do with really just, instead of putting yourself out there too much and spreading yourself too thin, pour a bit more into yourself today and those most intimate connections and relationships, which to some degree are going to lead to a new connection somewhere in the mix. Someone that you will resonate with. But also to degree, by doing so today, it's going to help the collective, according to Master number 11, move beyond those conflicts, as within, so without, both inner conflicts as well as external conflicts. There's something about today in particular that is going to move some kind of conflict into a state of harmony. In doing so, the collective will become more of a powerful visionary in terms of that primary energy, which is that of the artist we're returning home to today. We also have Oleander. Number 32. But before we go into that, we're going to ring the bell. And with this bell ringing, well, instead of ringing something in, we're going to be utilizing it as a tool to push out the negative voltage that has been coming out. It's going to assist us in pushing out and releasing all of the things, people, places, things, situations we're being guided to let go of today. All right. 1. This may be a good time to reduce the volume on your listening devices. 2 and 3. Pushing out and letting go of the negative voltage, stagnant, and no longer fulfilling energy that supports our creative space. So it is, so it is, so it is. And so it shall be. All right. Now, let's take a look at oleander a little bit closer. Yeah, taking some time today to really think things through. It's like sources saying that just because you're choosing to fall back does not mean you are a coward whatsoever. There's something more to learn today by being more of the observer instead of the one putting yourself out there, trying to be everywhere at once, pleasing everyone. This like falling back from that people pleaser type of energy today is part of that energy as well. Also, letting go of any impulse to play the hero in some kind of way today with the oleander. You may think that you may come out on top by acting the hero in a situation, but stop for a moment and question whether you should. This can go wrong in ways you may have never expected. So Source is also saying today is not the day to be playing the hero in any kind of way. Grand afternoon, Falcon. Thank you so much for being here. Give me just 1 second while I mod Temmie up here before I forget. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. That was funny. Did you hear my laptop play my voice back? All right. Could you guys let me know if you're getting any feedback from my other device, please, before I continue? How's the sound? All right, now that we have determined what to let go of for today to create more space for that creative energy. Thank you, Falcon. Thank you, thank you. Now we're going to go back into the same deck to determine what to invite into our creative space. But we'll also be going into other decks for more of those invitations. Give me just a second, guys. I got this weird sensation in my eyeball. All right. Okay, let's continue. Now, Source, Holy Spirit, Messenger of Source, what to invite into our creative space as we return home to the artist for the majority of today, as well as the observer. The artist as well as the observer. Let's go. What to invite into our creative space for today. Oh, we just made a full pass and nothing came out. So, in terms of what to invite, we're being guided to go into our immediate orbit, what is already in our creative space. We have Belladonna. Notice that they are holding some shears. Number 20, what to invite? The energy that I'm getting here is like the ability to let go, to like cut things out of your life without losing your crown. Like without an attitude about it. And if there is an attitude, it's an attitude of gratitude. Holy Spirit just said. Flora, hello. Hello, beautiful sister. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you so much for that thumbs up. Thank you, thank you. Much appreciated. So, in terms of what to invite, the ability to cut things out of your life without any malice or hatred, without losing your crown. Also, in our immediate environment and creative space, we have the blackthorn and number 40 in terms of what to invite into our creative space. An unexpected change. You know where you're going, you've got a plan in place, and everything feels like it's on course. There will be an unexpected change. But we're being guided to stay on our feet and be ready to react quickly. And one wrong step will see us swept away. So that is why we're being called to be more of an observer and tap into that creative space, drawing ourselves away from the limelight, away from the public eye for the majority of the day, because there's something that we're meant to be keeping an eye out for. And if we're trying to be everywhere at once and spreading ourselves too thin, we couldn't be missing out. And this particular blackthorn represents strife. So if we're distracted elsewhere and all over the place, then we're going to overlook that potential strife and it's going to make its way in. That test, that temptation that came out in yesterday's message. And we have the cherry, number 7, also in our immediate environment, that we're meant to have that energy of invite. And it's already here. So let's see what this means for the collective. Engaging in your own season of productivity, even if others are at rest. This is the perfect setting for addressing tasks that you have been putting off. There's something that you have been working on that is about to fully ripen. All right. Let's go ahead and make another shuffle, and then we're going to go into another deck. What to invite into our creative space for today. What to invite into our creative space for today as we fall back from the public eye. All right, we have Jasmine and number 10. Okay. Welding tools of the divine versus tools of destruction is the first message that I'm getting with this card. Tools of the divine versus or instead of tools of destruction. Perhaps you may have been feeling as though you could have set out in a different direction. Or that others are calling you to be foolish, doing things the wrong way. But you choose this path for a reason. You know exactly where you're going and why. Don't let your doubts or the scorn of others make you question yourself. So, inviting tools of the divine and welding them with confidence. All right, we also have the dandelion. And our second master number for today's session, number 33. A new adventure. Wow. Yes. Being ready for a new adventure. You may have been feeling stuck between two choices. Either staying rooted in the safety of the ground or taking flight to new lands. So you may be drawing back from the public eye in order to move in silence and pivot towards a new adventure. A decision that cannot be taken lightly. Also, we're being guided to not wait in limbo forever about this decision. Which with all of that introspection in mind, it would make sense why the collective is being called to draw back, fall back from the public eye, just for today, or for the majority of the day anyways, was the original message. Things were just about to be settled, and fate had a different plan. An unexpected wind on the horizon waiting to sweep you up, urging you to arise, embracing what feels like chaos because of the mystery aspect of this new adventure. This is also about approaching a new adventure with a less rational approach. Like, this is one of those times where we're being told that perhaps the less rational answer is the best answer. All right. What else to invite? We have the bluebell, the energy of the bluebell. Number 17. Before we continue forward, though, we are going to ring in this new adventure for the collective that's going to begin today. This may be a good time to reduce the volume on your listening devices. 1, 2, 3. Let's ring in this new adventure. Time to get out of limbo and embrace the new adventure. So it is, so it is, so it is. And so it shall be. All right. Now we're going to go into a different deck. I say we go back into the Woodland Wardens and kind of stick with this nature theme. I'm really loving it with the animals and the plants. We'll also be bringing in a few more animal spirit allies to join the lizard at the end. But to support that primary energy of returning home to the artist for today, and really only extending ourselves towards more exclusive and intimate people, places, things, and situations. All right. Here we go. More to invite into our creative space for today. More to invite into our creative space today. Okay, we'll reach for this one as well. And let's see what's already in the environment for the collective from this deck. We have the bee and the pomegranate with productivity. An invitation to be more productive, but also on a more private level, like really making some power moves, but privately. Busy as a bee, but not rudely, Holy Spirit just said. Busy as a bee, but not rudely. Busy as a bee, but not rudely. Busy as a bee, but not rudely. We have number 35, 36. The bee and the pomegranate. Ah, it's like only engaging in our most fulfilling projects. This is confirmation of what I was saying a little bit more early on in the message. To only engage in what is in alignment with our full potential and okay, to create with more purpose, but behind the scenes, becoming more tough-skinned as well. Some kind of mindset that is being invited. More difficult to move, more difficult to sway. Being called to have a harder exterior, but just for today. And then there we will know when it's time for those seeds or golden nuggets of creativity to burst forth more openly with others. Getting out of procrastination. Getting out of procrastination. We have that independence card that came out yesterday, inviting us to be more self-directed. Now I'm hearing something along the lines of winning internally, though. Some kind of fulfillment from within. Fulfillment and satisfaction with the turtle and the coriander. A more steady momentum that is also more fulfilling, Holy Spirit just said. Thank you, Holy Spirit. A more steady and self-directed momentum that is also more fulfilling, more in support of our purpose. This is also confirmation that we're being guided to understand that we are not required to explain ourselves to anyone, not even ourselves. So there could also be where that temptation, that test comes in. That was it buckthorn? It could have been buckthorn, but it could have been blackthorn. Blackthorn. That strife. People, places, things, and situations. Tempting the collective. But it's like we're being safeguarded from over-explaining ourselves, because it's like the more that we over-explain ourselves, not only is it giving permission to antagonize us, but we're also giving away like valuable information that others can just take and run with them as well. Like the collective is extremely resourceful right now. So giving away too much without matching it with that productivity could make way for another to like take your plans and manifest something with it. Or they could try to, a person, place, thing, or situation trying to get you to downgrade your potential. So being more self-directed and not relying on others, choosing a more steady momentum, self-directed, steady momentum with that turtle and coriander. Inviting yourself to take your time and honor your own pace. It's like you have been putting in the work, and now Source and Holy Spirit is saying that you can achieve just as much, if not more, than the swiftest rabbit, just by choosing to be more self-directed and private. Remember, today is that energy of falling back from the public eye for the majority of the day. Concealing your worth, but not in a deceptive way at all. The coriander is what is encouraging the collective to just keep it quiet, keep it to yourself, keep your plans and your next moves to yourself. Wow. Okay. Already in the immediate environment, and the collective is being guided to embrace, even more so, is the bear and the cedar. The bear and the cedar. Number 4. This is an invitation into more mature authority. How can we become better leaders? Offering a more like benevolent, protective, healing, quality environment once we step back out into the public eye. Ruling with fairness and care over our own lives as well, like as we self-direct, being guided to invite more of that fairness and care all the way around. All right. Now we're going to go into yet another deck. Less is more. So we're going to go into the Kipper for a bit more of what energy we're being guided to invite into our creative space at this time. Before I continue, I do need to wet my whistle. All right, here we go. Source and Holy Spirit, messenger of Source, what energy from the Kipper is the collective being guided to invite into the creative space for today? What to invite into that creative space for today? Okay. Deciding to be the main character, realizing that we are the main character in this reality. With the courthouse in reverse, this is results turning out in the favor of the collective. By realizing that we are not an NPC, we are the main character in our reality. There's that. We're going to take a look at both cards. And then that was indication by knocking the lizard over that I'm being called to bring in more animal spirit allies as well. And the main female just fell and hit the floor. So that energy is most certainly not only invited, but is coming to the door. All right. Also, what is being invited with this energy in combination? Some renewals. Some of you may be renewing your driver's license now or sometime soon, but it's going to come up today. Or a passport or some other kind of documentation, official documentation. Some important decision making that is completely and entirely on the collective and no one else. Also, some kind of important transaction that is either going to be decided on today or is going to be actually brought into fruition. But overall, this is an assessment that turns out in the favor of the collective upon realizing that we are the main character and not an NPC. We are productive. We do have value. We're not just a fixture in the background of everyone else's lives. But also with this card right here in reverse, we don't necessarily have to announce that to others. This is all about falling back from the public eye. So it's like we can make these decisions and make these moves without broadcasting them. Hello, Kayla. Hello, Chef Mary. Sorry, ladies. I was just taking a moment to take a look at the chat and realized. Happy Tuesday. And welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for popping in. Some of you may also be the one taking the next steps to either file some kind of lawsuit, court proceedings, a divorce, a will, a contract, or some other kind of dispute, or otherwise, even if it isn't a dispute, it's still some kind of official matter that the collective is going to be the one to be productive and take the initiative on. And it's going to be different for everyone. In the immediate environment and already invited for the collective, we have expectation. This is all about patience. More and more of that patience. Practice, practice, practice. Practice, practice, practice that patience. We're going to put this card up here. Again, this is not necessarily representing a female. Gender is irrelevant. What this card here, number 2, is representing at this time is the recognition that the collective is the main character in their reality. Also in the environment, wow, already here, more than just an invite, it is already here. We have great fortune, patience that leads to great fortune, something a lot more official, something that feels more genuine and sincere and real, is already invited, already in the environment, already on its way in. Not something that we're being called to invite, but is already here. This could also be a divine counterpart for some of you. Your official person, so to speak, the real deal. So we're going to place that card right down here. And look. We have the 2 and then a 22. So the energy doubled. But it's matching energy at the same time. It's the same primary number, nonetheless. And they're matching energies and multiplying it as well. So this is an official person coming into your life that is going to assist the collective in duplicating this main character energy, this productive energy, and not just like being or feeling like a fixture in everyone else's lives. Someone who may even come off as a little bit intimidating. This could also be you. This could be a combined energy of being just a more authentic version of yourself and the main character of your reality. This can also involve a relationship that will develop today, regardless of the context of that relationship. I'm sending posy vibes your way too, Kayla. Thank you. The best posy vibes your way. This connection is also going to have more structure to it. It's like being in support of like taking back control and authority over your own lives, beginning today, but on a more private and intimate level, like out of the public eye. Like you're not broadcasting it. You're not putting yourself out there on the world stage with these moves that you're making. This is like the behind the scenes going on here. And keeping it behind the scenes. Like keeping it backstage VIP, I just heard. And that's also why early on in the message we were being guided to not overshare about what we're doing. Because there's that test and that temptation and strife coming in with the blackthorn. And it may just be someone trying to throw a thorn or a wrench into your plans. But with that great fortune card here on the table, whatever comes out of today is going to be fruitful and in alignment with your true purpose. Outstanding good luck, triumph, wealth, happiness, and fruitfulness of some kind. It's the most enabling and powerful and positive card in the deck. Some unexpected good luck also on the way. Something that you may have been patiently waiting for. And then just decided to take it upon yourself to be more of the observer and fall back from the public eye, to get to know yourself more, to get to know that main character. And the more you get to know yourself, the more true you are to yourself as well as others, more authentic. Playing that authentic card behind the scenes. It's like You are the same. You are the same authentic you, whether you are in the public eye or you're not in the public eye, Holy Spirit just said. Taking a chance on your opportunities. New opportunities in vocational matters, but also new perspectives that will be rolling in today, as well as some kind of improvements in terms of relationship matters. And that's what the collective is also being called to invite, to create space for. After doing all of this letting go over here, making space for that new coming through on a more private and intimate level for today. Source, Holy Spirit, Messenger of Source just said, until further notice, keeping things more private. No more sharing your plans with everyone. No more people pleasing. No more trying to be everywhere at once all the time and spreading yourself too thin. All right. In terms of more to invite into this creative space for the collective today, here we go. More to bring into our creative space today. And nothing came out. So we're going to do another full pass. Okay. We have the community card. Number 39. Also making time for those who may have supported the collective in the past, whether you're reaching out to an old friend or otherwise a friend that you have been, connected with for a long time. So not just the new, but a combination of being open to new connections as well as mindfully, purposefully connecting with other connections like more long term. But this is also connecting with your ancestors. Honoring your ancestors. So, here we go again with that. Let's see. So, it looks as though I will be lighting this last candle that I have left over out of all of my supplies that I'm dwindling. I'm not going to light it now because I don't have my lighter in here. I don't have anything to light it with, but it's there, like honoring your ancestors, connecting with your ancestors today at some point as you retreat from the public eye. At the bottom of the deck and in the immediate environment of the collective, we have distant horizons. But The message with this is something has already been anchored in to our orbit. While we think that our ships are still coming in, something has already made landfall in our orbit, our more intimate and private sector of our orbit. Abigail, hello, beautiful sister. Welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday. Yes, we're going to pin that. Yes, double tap. Thank you, Abigail, for dropping that in the chat. I pinned it for you. Thank you, thank you. All right. So, in terms of what to invite into our creative space, focusing more on our hopes and dreams and wishes, our yearnings. It says the significator is sailing to a new shore. So this is also in alignment with those new opportunities already being anchored in. I'm not sure why, but Source just said creating new dreams. So it's like saying that part of the reason why some of your dreams haven't come true yet for you is because they're not really meant to, they're not really meant for you. This is also about new perspectives as you commit and connect more deeply and intimately, but also more privately with your own personal collective. And in doing so, you are going to realize just how important you are to the equation. You could be running into someone that's part of your own collective and come to the realization just how important you truly are to them. Like you may not have even realized until today. But there's also that message of unexpected, positive energy coming in that will make the collective happy. So it could very well have something to do with that as well. But this is also involving an idea or a project or some kind of a connection that up until this point and up until today has just been a vision. Something that was unrealized. And that may also be in alignment with that unexpected happiness upon that realization of just how important you are to that one person, place, thing, or situation in a positive manner. This could also involve a connection with someone who either lives near a body of water or a connection with someone overseas, someone abroad, somebody from a separate state or country or even continent than where you reside. But whatever it is that you've been hopeful for is going to remain a dream. At least until the end of this reading. But otherwise, until like by the end of the day. Because this is all about energy for today. All right, so we're going to make one more full pass with the Kipper in terms of what to invite into our creative space. We have judication and marriage on the table, as well as family room at the bottom. So this is telling me that the energy that is coming in that's unexpected to the collective has to do with a very important sacred connection that's meant to be long-term, that has already been, there's already been some kind of judgment call on this connection in rooms that you have yet to set foot in. This is like a space where like 2 or more are meant to gather. T for 2. This could very much so involve a very intimate relationship involving 2 people. But otherwise, with the community card, it could involve multiple people over time. But for today, since we're falling back from the public eye, this is a more intimate situation that we're meant to keep quiet and move in silence. Or you are making the judgment call to make a sacred connection more long-term, but the knowledge of it has not left this sacred space just yet, because this can also represent a sacred space. It can also represent the astrals, like something that has already been determined in the astrals that is about to come into fruition. The judgment call has already been made and will come into fruition to some degree today on a more private and intimate level. And for some of you, it can involve an actual love interest or a lover. You may be deciding to take the next step with a lover. But this could also mean taking that next step in terms of what you love to do. And right behind that, we have the wealthy man and transformation with the number 13, doing what you love and loving what you do. And this is an expansive energy, expanding on doing what you love and loving what you do, but also creating a broader network at the same time, in terms of business, building more of that acumen, becoming more well-versed at what you do on a more private and intimate level. All right. Now we're going to draw. Hello, Carl. Oh my gosh, you just snuck right in here, didn't you? Hello, Bro Star. Thank you so very much for showing up. Thank you for being here. Thank you for dropping a wave. Know that you are loved and appreciated always. We're going to draw this message to a close a little bit early today. We're going to keep it under 2 hours because I too have to practice what I preach, which means I'm going to be falling back from the public eye as well for the majority of today. Hello, Lilu. Hello, Brostar. Thank you so much for being here. I was just getting ready to wrap things up, actually. Bringing in some more animal spirit allies to support the collective with this primary energy, representing being called home to the artist within us. All right, here we go. Source, Holy Spirit, animal spirit, and ally energies supporting the collective in today's more private and intimate endeavors for today. So far, we have the mouse. I'm hearing being quiet as a mouse about what you're doing and your next moves. Being quiet as a mouse about your next moves. In terms of how else that this mouse is going to support the collective. Let's see. We've already determined from the other decks that we are extremely resourceful on our own. So this is also about becoming more organized and prepared. No longer having a fearful or limited vision of our lives or trying to control every little detail. And we also have the Firefly coming in as an ally to assist us throughout today. Being inspired and fantastic yet fleeting. This is a high frequency charge of energy that cannot be sustained for very long. A moment of inspiration or awakening that will quickly fade if you don't catch it. This is also somewhat in alignment of that call to be more observant today. More of the observer, because we're also being expected to keep our eye out for that temptation or test of strife with the blackthorn. Somebody's going to try to test us, tempt us. But as we fall back from the public eye and become more of an observer, we're more likely to catch that inspiration. Something about poetry and music. But something is going to come about throughout today that is going to support us in becoming more innovative. and being ready to harness even more creative spirit when it graces our paths. Wow. At the bottom of the deck and already in our immediate orbit and in support of that expansive creativity, we have the black egg. Thank you, Abby. You've been busy as a bee, but not rudely, huh? We have the black egg also coming in as an ally to support us in this expansive creativity. The black egg. Speaking from an authentic voice. The black egg contains one of life's essential treasures, the truth. Inside of it resides no confusion, excuses, small talk, noise, or lies, not even the white ones. This living and breathing vessel harbors only that which rings true. So it's also saying to an extent to, as we draw back and fall back from the public eye today, it's in support of what I was saying earlier about only engaging in people, places, things, and situations and activities that are true to our heart. And when this essence is in balance, we speak more slowly and clearly as well. Drawn to activities like writing, reading, teaching, singing, and perhaps public speaking. So while we fall back from a public eye today, we'll actually be putting more work into becoming more creative and expansively creative in all of these different options. Some of the collective could do a little bit of all of these things: writing, reading, teaching, singing, and public speaking. Hi, how you doing? What do you know to be true about yourself, and what do you know to be true about the world? So more than anything else, as we are creating more space to tap into that creative energy, now to be expansive creative energy, we're getting to know ourselves more. We're getting to know more about ourselves as well as the world at large, a more expansive world view I just heard. Disengaging from those who gossip or repeat stories over and over again to justify their subpar behavior. But also disengaging from that type of behavior. Disengaging from telling people what they want to hear or gossiping or just any of that like half-hearted communication. As well as avoiding trying to convince ourselves that we have no inner truth at all. This energy is available at every moment and at the disposal of the collective in every situation. The epicenter of the truth, the birthplace of our voice. Exactly. We do turn the page and disengage. Bars. Good one, Lilu. So what we're doing and being encouraged to continue to do behind the scenes is cleanse that center that is the hub governing our speech and expression. The Vishuddha, translating as especially pure. The balance of this center is important for all of us, but is especially essential for writers, editors, musicians, and teachers. So as we fall back today from the public eye for more intimate and true to our purpose, true to ourselves engagements, whether it seems that way or not, because it seems counterintuitive that the fifth chakra would be our throat chakra, but we're also being called to disengage from the public eye. It seems counterintuitive, but it's not. Because the retreating that we do today is only going to benefit that throat chakra and how we utilize our voice as a tool of the divine moving forward after today. As a writer, as a musician, as a teacher, as a speaker, as an artist. Improving our communication overall. All right. Now, we are going to bring in the Hungarian Gypsy fortune-telling deck to draw these messages to a close with more of the energy that we're being called to invite into our creative space for today. Here we go. Source, Holy Spirit, Messenger of Source. Energy we are meant to invite into our creative space today. We have the widow and the gift. So, the combination of these two cards would be a gesture, towards an older woman. But this could also be you as the significator. You could be the older woman, offering a gesture of appreciation or gratitude, a kind gesture to another, but on a more intimate level. And then with that gift, it's like with that jewelry box already popped open, like the collective has already been revealing their true potential, their full potential to some degree, but there is still so much more going on the inside. It's like leaving a bit more to the imagination at this time in terms of our full potential, like not revealing too much of our full potential to just anyone. And with that being the older woman, it's either you or someone you are going to encounter in some kind of correspondence today. And it's like, it's okay to share in an aesthetic way with them. Or if it's you and there's a older woman coming towards you, it's okay to accept their energy, their aesthetic into your creative space, as it could only be complementary to your creative space. Thank you, Holy Spirit. All right, let's make another full pass. What else to invite into the creative space today? We have loss already in the immediate environment and falseness in combination. But behind the loss, we still have some money, which means even though even as it appears we are at a loss over a situation, person, place, or thing that is not meant for us, we are still resourceful. And we still have the ability to follow our intuitions moving forward with those 6 cents on the table. We also have malady and desire. So, with this combination, which I find to be rather interesting, malady and desire. So this can also mean a desire for more rest. A desire for more rest. A desire also for a secret admirer. But there could also be expecting more restful times ahead. And at the bottom of the deck, right behind that, we have the widower, which for some of the collective could actually be a divine counterpart to the widow. So we're just going to put that right up here. Oops. But in a different way. Someone who is in, and they're not necessarily of the opposite sex either. This could just be someone who is a divine counterpart to you, but has also been up until today, like dwelling on the past to some degree. But they're interested in supporting that expansive creativity of yours. In the immediate environment, we have the letter. also in support of that energy. So this is an older man, or it's you if you are the older man, who wants to correspond with you in a more official manner. Peaceful and loving, with the peace dove and the roses, like a more peaceful and loving manner as well. They may even recognize what is still long hidden, what is yet to be revealed and is still a mystery within you. They may want to express their support in that, like they can see through to your sustenance. And they've been all up in their thoughts about it. They've been all up in their thoughts about it. So what I also see here is that desire to turn that thought form into something with more sustenance by opening up that line of loving communication. And it's a loyal connection. The energy of fidelity is already in the environment of the collective. Faithfulness, but also like one of the two of you has been patiently waiting. Perhaps even both of you have been patiently waiting for this energy, patiently waiting for these connections that support the expansion of your creativity, your soul's purpose. Because you are Holy Spirit's sweetheart. But for real, to somebody, especially with the ecclesiastic right behind it, somebody is seeing you as their official sweetheart. And right behind that, we have love to confirm. Coming in today. This is what we're being guided to invite or otherwise accept what has already been invited. When it's already in the orbit, it's already been invited and being guided to embrace it. Whether this is a love for, a particular artistic endeavor or even a person. Somebody who may have even, with that thief card, stole your heart. But there's no denying it. It's official. One more full pass. Energy. And that's it. There it is. The consistency is already in the environment. You just have to say yes to it. Hello. Oh my gosh. Why didn't I see you coming in, Marlon? Hello, my buntastic bro star. Happy Tuesday. We love you too, Abigail. Thank you so much for being such a great helper. Yes. So, this energy that has already been in the environment, whether it has been acknowledged or not, because in the beginning of today's session, there was that mention of amongst the clutter, something that is yet to be discovered that is already in the environment of the collective. And all this other energy coming in is about to become more consistent. The veil is thinning. Let's do a split. Oh my gosh, that's the second time now a divine counterpart has come out. And they have a message for you. A message that'll be in support of your health, wealth, and prosperity. So for some of you, this is a platonic but near perfect connection for your vocation, not romance. But for some of you, this is pretty much a match made in heaven without becoming overly attached to that twin ray soulmate myth that it's the perfect relationship or that it's supposed to be the perfect relationship. I mean, notice that they have their backs turned to each other, but they're also showing up as divine counterparts. They're not ignoring each other. They can confidently do their own thing without being too absorbed in what the other is doing. He's looking her way. But she is not concerned about whether or not he is looking her way. Because she is not only not seeking the approval of the public or validation, she's not seeking that even in the most intimate connections either. She feels confident and complete before anything or anyone else comes into the equation. And with that constancy card, whether it's he or she, the collective is embodying that energy for a more sustained period of time and continuously being guided to do so. Continue holding that line. Continue holding that energy for a sustained amount of time. That confidence. That knowing, not just a sense, but knowing of completion. So it's not about coming together and completing each other. It's about coming together in a complementary way. And that is the message. I want to thank you so very much, Multiversal Soul Familia, for tuning in with much gratitude and appreciation from my heart chakra to yours. Brightest of blessings and agape omni love to all.